How's up, everyone? Today, we're going to have a little discussion about the compiled combat manual feature that we just now got. This is a skill shop we've all been waiting for, people. However, as you all know, the currency, the toilet paper that we need to fuel these combat manuals are a little expensive, and they come kind of slow. So, it'll probably be even slower than Grails and Dragon Flowers. Maybe even infantry dragon flowers. So we should have a little discussion about which ones are most worthwhile. So first, to access it, you go to Allies, Compile, and we're going to talk about the normal ones first, because those are the ones that are worth the most. As you can see, we have like 6 rolls. 6 rolls of different groups of heroes, and it takes us 6,000 toilet papers to get to the end. So it would do you well to pick one roll and stick to it. If you were to just go to another one afterwards, so you go to tier 2, you've already wasted 1,200 toilet papers, and it's not worth it. Most of the good skills are like starting from tier 3. You probably want to save for those. So, I mean, my opinion on this might be different from yours because I have different needs, but hopefully this guide should at least give you an idea which role is best. Okay, so first let's start off with Cordelia. The Shell Lance is the only thing you should really get off of her. The other things you can get easily from 3 to 4 star heroes, and they're not even good. So Shell Lance is what you're getting. It's a okay weapon. It's not all that great now compared to all the crazy weapons we have, but it's still serviceable, and not to mention you need it as a gateway to continue down the Awakening Fates line. Meanwhile, this one, God Grima. This one, in my opinion, is probably the best tier 2, in my opinion. See, you get not only Vengeful Fighter. Vengeful Fighter we still don't have a free copy of from Grand Hero Battles yet. So now we have a free version that we can get from Robin. And as you know, enemy face armors can really benefit from this. This is an incredibly powerful skill. It's Quick Repulse 5. And not to mention gives you special cooldown. So this is a signature skill to get. Another one is War Dragons. War Dragons is absolutely amazing. Absolutely, positively amazing. In my opinion, you should really go for War Dragons, because infantry dragons can benefit from this. Like the other ones, armor and such like that, they don't really care because they already have their C skills for their classes, but this will allow dragons to have a unique ability to also get Dev Res plus 4. And having Dev Res plus 4 in combat, if you have a whole group of them, is absolutely amazing. Even just one. 4 to Dev and Res is not something we just sneeze at. I think that if you were to get a whole team and getting 12 to Dev Res to all for something like Naui, something like Fei, and of course, to Soul This with that is absolutely amazing, because Soul This has no weakness whatsoever. Absolutely no weakness whatsoever. She's fast, her defenses are good. Now you can turn her into an invincible juggernaut. So I highly recommend getting War Dragons. I think I can't emphasize it enough. If you were cheap though, I suppose you can do it like this. Just get Spur Dev up to someone, and then get War Dragons and Vengeful Fighter 3 off of that, and completely siphon God Grima of all of his skills. But honestly, it's better on infantry dragons. Trust me on this. It is absolutely amazing. Vengeful Fighter, yeah, I mean, Vengeful Fighter itself is kind of uncommon, but you'll probably get it someday from some rare, like, Pity Breaker or something like that, and then you'll be set. War Dragons, much harder to get. So go for War Dragons if you have a choice. Then we have Owain. Owain comes with the Wrath. You can get that off of Astrum with Grail, so I highly recommend you to just save to get Blue Flames. Luckily though, Blue Flames is also kind of easily obtained, because what is the requirement? The requirement is Bonfire. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. So you can pick up Blue Flames, you can pick up Wrath at the same time off of Owain. Astrum himself is kind of like, He's not all that great, so you can still get that, and then you can instead focus on getting Spur, Speed, Dev, which isn't all that great either, but hey, you know what? It's something else. So then you come in a character with Wrath and Spur, Speed, Dev for whatever reason. I mean, I sacrificed my Mist to Maria just to get Spur, Dev, Res, which is pretty handy. Because I highly favor in-combat buffs, like War Dragons. They make your characters really scary. And when enemies come to attack you in Aether Raids, they can't see the number. So it screws them up. I've had people ask me, oh hey, why is it that Jenny is suddenly so fast? Why is Jenny doubling people? Well, there's your answer, because you know they didn't expect that. Hey, another healer is gonna walk up to another healer and heal them with restore, and also give them an invisible buff on top of that. So people who come to attack my defenses suddenly get surprised by a Jenny who can double them, and Jenny doubling with that 35 attack is actually kind of scary, or 38 with an attack buff, kind of with an attack IV. That's kind of scary. Anyway, so. Get Blue Flames with Wrath or Spur, Speed, Dev. Probably Wrath. Wrath is an amazing skill. Of course, you also have Attack, Dev, Bond if you are if you favor healers as much as me. So there's plenty of options to go for Wayne. He's a good tier 3 unlock. Then there's tier 4, Xander. Well, the Dusk Uchiha, I almost said Uchiha. That is nice. I like that a lot. Because of stupid dagger, ruin Vantage, and not to mention it's good against cavalry. You know what? Even though cavalry are kind of like, you still see a large number of them. They're not that rare. They still do appear, and having something that you can effectively kill them with is not a bad thing. Especially if you can stop Vantage from Kranya as well. I think Dusk Ochiwa is definitely something to look forward to. Of course, you're probably just going to do close counter and quick repulse off of him, which is absolutely fine. The quick close counter is absolutely amazing. In fact, I would get that over some stupid dagger, but hey, you can actually get everything off of him, so why not? You can just get close counter, just get up to quick repulse 2, and you get that, and then you have 2 more remaining skill inheritance to pick up the Dusk Uchiwa. So this is a perfectly obtainable 3 skills that you can get off of Xander. And then finally, Corrin. Corrin himself, he's not all that great. We have that attack dev bond we talked about. The Holden Dragons, okay, that's reasonable. I still like Ward though, because visible stats these days are a bit of a hindrance. Nowadays, I'm actually kind of scared to give people visible stats, because as soon as panic hits, that's it, you're fucked. Just stick with in-combat buffs. In-combat buffs is much more reliable. Until they figure out a way to debuff those. Well, they do have a way to debuff those by simply debuffing, but if they have some kind of way to counter it completely, like some kind of in-combat panic, then we have something to be worried about. That's something that I hope that they release someday in this game. That's some way to counter in-combat buffs, even though I love them so much. Something to counter them would be a good thing, in my opinion. But yeah, you're pretty much picking Corrin to get no follow-up. That is the way. Though, in terms of the other skills, I think that it's not as scary. It's still worthwhile to get no follow-up. No follow-up has some uses. I mean, it's a specific use, but, you can use it to counter Worry Fighter and stupid stuff like that. It's something worth looking into. I mean, back in the day when we have, like, no counter, people think that it's, like, the best null skills in the game. But it counters a specific set of things. Whereas Corrin's no follow-up can counter a lot more, because nowadays there's so many different ways to say, oh yeah, you can't attack me anymore. You can't attack me twice anymore. Or or you can attack me twice, or something like that. So no follow-up, I think, has more value than no counter. Alright, so in my opinion, the Awakening thing is basically all good. 4 good ones right here. So Awakening Fates is definitely my probably the one that I'm going to pick. But let's go down the list and think about it further. Now, Xian, well, I suppose you get Home Beast. Flyer formation is really nice. That's a good thing to have. The mirror stance, not so much. But chances are what I'm going to do with this is just merge into my Xian because I'm a hobo person. But if you're going to get something, flyer formation is probably the one to get. Home Beast is good too, but visible buffs, scary. Could be a liability. Elincia's main use is just for attack speed push, so that one day down the line, if you were to pick up attack speed push 4, you can get more skills out of that character that has attack speed push 4, like Bulbasaurus Rex. You can pick up her Wrathful Staff or something like that, or whatever her other skills are. So that's the main use of Elincia, besides the Cloud Mayugi. The Mayugi, though, that's, as we just discussed, is actually pretty scary. Because, hey, look, my dragons. There's so many dragons. Now you have a stupid star that destroy these dragons, as we just talked about. But, you know what? I honestly think that maybe it's not so bad. Because daggers, they're not... I don't know. I never really think of daggers being very scary. There are some scary ones, but in general, people don't even use daggers. But, having this could be a nasty surprise. Though, if you stack your defenses high enough, it might not even matter. Sophis is just that good. Just goddamn that good. Still, if you're gonna get it, you have to make a choice. Unless you're a dagger unit, you know, either get that attack speed push, I suppose, and drive res on top of that, or you're going for the dagger and some attack speed push for a powerful dagger unit. Like I said, though, daggers, I don't think too many people use them. Still, Elincia is pretty decent as a tier 2. Then we have left the Cat Girl. The Cat Girl has Speed Dev Solo. Speed Dev Solo. I suppose a healer could use it. Then we have Home Beast. Blah. And we have something we can't get. And, well, that's pretty much it. You're getting her for Speed Dev Solo, pretty much. Making her one of the worst tier 3s, in my opinion. Then we have Tanith. Tanith, well, unfortunately, she's released slowly, so she only goes up to Swift Barrel 2. Chill Attack, 4 to 5 flyers, blah, whatever. You're only getting her for Harsh Command, really. Harsh Command Plus, though, is really nice. I used that as a setup for my Aether Rays defenses to get rid of all the panic and other stupid things like that. So... not only do I get rid of the panic, but I also give myself some really, really nice buffs that people give me when they decide that, oh yeah, I'm going to debuff you with chill attack, chill speed, chill whatever, and now all of a sudden I turn the tables on them. So Harsh Command Plus is worthwhile. It's just that it's not very, very strong. I mean, it is very strong if you counter something, but it's kind of determinant on things. So things that you have to determine based on how the enemy acts are kind of iffy for me, but Harsh Command Plus, when it does work, is amazing. Then finally, to get the NLS line, we are pretty much getting Fury and Faithful Axe. This is actually pretty nice, 7 to all stats, though I prefer to not work on stats, more towards something like unique mechanics. Still, Fury 4 is really nice because visible stats, not visible buffs, visible stats can be, well, I suppose visible buffs as well. They can be used to attract chills. And if you were to use something like, what's her name again? Big Boob Lady. Oh my god. She sucks that debuff so nice. And I can't remember her name. Oh, Brunya. There we go. Brunya could actually take good advantage of Fury 4. Although I've been considering giving her Life and Death. Just Life and Death 3 though. I'm not too crazy about Brunya. And having her suck up attack. Having her suck up chill attack or chill speed. Or that chill buildings, something like that. Because most of the units you use nowadays, they have in-combat buffs. to give them power. So they don't look that scary in the character screen, but they actually have like tons and tons of stats just in combat. They have to go through some hoops to get them. Some of their hoops are small, some of them are really big. You might as well just walk past them. But in most cases, visible stats are a bit of a thing in the past. Luckily, we have Grail coming in, giving you Fury 4, so for you to take advantage of that. And I mean, Fury 4 has a decent chunk of attack and speed as well. So for characters such as Lysithea, this is actually, or Bernadetta, this is actually really good to have. Because they have kind of iffy defenses and resistance. If you can use it for them to survive one round of combat, it's worthwhile, especially for Bernadetta. So even to this day, Fury is still really nice. But unfortunately, I mean, you can get the most out of it from Fury 3 as it is. Fury 4 is a bit of a luxury item. Going through 6,000 toilet papers to get Fury 4 is not, in my opinion, a good choice. Armor March, well, Armor March is, I suppose, kind of rare, but you'll probably get it off of a random pity breaker. And I mean, it's still something that, you know, it's essential in a full armor team, but you can live with something stupid like ward armor like that and just have them just slowly move towards you like a bunch of Spartans, and you'll still win. Armor March is nice, but we can go without it. So in my opinion, the Radiance tree is kind of weak. Outside of Xian and Tanith maybe, and Lincia, the others not so good. Kind of iffy, in fact. So Radiance is not one I'm going after, that's for sure. Then we have Blades and Sacred Stones. This one, green gifts. Well, I suppose you can use it to nullify things that could be useful, but I'd much rather give them the panic. Giving them a panic and just kill them that way. Anything else though? I guess you get attack tactics, so you can apply some visible buffs to yourself and easily. Hey, it's Amelia. Well, Amelia can't give you this, so that's a shame. And what else does she give? Oh, hey, we just had that discussion about Armor March. So now you have an earlier access for Armor March, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna summon for Growl. If you're gonna get Growl, you're gonna get Fury 4. No questions asked. You get that, and that's pretty much to it. But hey, it's really cheap. So if you have some really good grand ambitions to running a full armor team, well, getting Blind Nino, Armor Nino would be the way to go. Finally, we have this disgusting aerobatics off of Flying Nino, or Giga Nino, over her weapon. And that's pretty much it, really. Speed Smoke is cute, it's nice, but you also have it as a seal. Honestly, I'm not too crazy about it, but it is nice. It is nice to have. But honestly, you're gonna go and get her, you're gonna get aerobatics, so you can screw people over in ways that they don't expect. Things, like, as I said before in other contents, stats are not all that important to me. I mean, you do need stats to operate, obviously, but like, stupid tricks like aerobatics is much more valuable to me. If you have your units set up in ways that you can trick people and murdering them, that is something I highly value. Of course, you know, it also depends on your setup, so aerobatics might not even work for you. Then we have Ephraim. Ephraim has attack def solo. Great for my healers. Bold fighter, always good for armor. Close guard, it's okay. I mean, we just had that discussion about Ward Dragon, so now you have that. It's just that, hey, it only works for close. Other than that, though, I mean, really, you're just looking after for attack def solo and bold fighter. Still good, but probably get them off pity breakers, alright? Then we have Hector, here to provide us with distant counter. I don't know why they value distant counter that much, but, well, we do have that free Beelit, but then, well, that's only if you buy 3 houses and a switch. So, yeah, that's pretty much the only thing you get off of him. You spend 6,000 toilet papers just to get distant counter. I honestly think it's better to just keep waiting for the weeklies and just summon for Hector the weekly revivals and just go and summon for Hector. Not only is it 4%, but it only is 2% on pity breakers as well. It's far more worthwhile to do that than to spend 6,000 toilet papers just to get this encounter. So, in my opinion, the Blade Sacred Stones one is also kind of weak. You do it to get some armor stuff, but otherwise, I mean, attack dev solo, it's decent for my healers who act alone, I guess. But you can do way better than that, my friends. Definitely way better than that. So this is a really weak tree as well. I suppose, I mean, you can get this. You can get the Armor March and leave it at that. Or at the very least, Narrow Batics and leave it at that. But really, it's not worthwhile otherwise. Then we have Holy War. Holy War, we start off with Leaf. But Leaf, I think that his drive attack too is very worthwhile to look into. Something, because drive attack comes from what sources? From Fjorm, if I recall correctly. That you don't want to sack. You always want to keep a Fjorm around. Trust me on this. And then you have Marth. Marth comes with it. The Marth has that and the Cake Cutter or something like that. But anyway, I guess you can spend Grails or you can go and get Leaf and go down the list. I would do that. The drive attack is good. You slap down onto Lucina, you have more attack. And it's a little bit rarer to get than the dry speed. So having a little trick now and then for that is always nice. Since, you know, as I said before, I'm a huge fan of in-combat buffs, so there's that. Mainly because there's no counter. Once there's a counter, you know, I can actually start using my brain again and use something else. I do use something else, like Times Pulse and something stupid like that. Or Savage Blow, but that's... Or Ploys. I still use Ploys these days. So that's what Deirdre will give you. Will give you a Speed Ploy. It's not that great nowadays, but back in the day, hey, being able to shoot some debuffs across the map is kind of nice. I mean, it's still nice now, it's just that there are lots of chills and other ways to debuff now, unlike back then we didn't have that many options. Still, if you're gonna do it, you might as well pick up that Speed Ploy. The Quick Repulse is nice too, so you're getting this Ploy and you're getting the Quick Repulse off of her. That's pretty much it. Easy peasy. Sigurd, well, unfortunately, Sigurd, well, what do you get off of him? You get the Speed Smoke and you get the Close Defense. Close Defense is kind of nice. And, well, Speed Smoke is kind of nice too. But both of them are also seals. I suppose if you really need to stack your Close Defense, there's that idea. But otherwise, kind of redundant. Of course, we probably don't really need to explain much about Leywin. You're doing this. You're doing this, and that's pretty much it. And you can sneak in... I guess if you somehow have Odd Attack Wave too, but yeah, I guess you're getting that, and you're getting Swift Sparrow and stuff just like that. But honestly, you know, what am I even saying? You're here for Special Spiral. That's it. That's all there is to it. Special Spiral is an amazing skill, and should always be considered. It has so much potential. You can turn your Kranya into a horrifying monster. You can turn your Lilina into a horrifying monster. Your Lysithea into a horrifying monster. Really, there's no need to explain more about Special Spiral. Ishtar. You're getting this Swift Sparrow 3 off of her. Swift Sparrow 3 is a disgusting thing. Attack 6, speed plus 7. Or when you initiate, but still, it's amazing. Air Orders, kind of amazing. But yeah, you're here for a Swift Sparrow 3. There's no other way around it. Let's see. Air Orders is a unique skill in its own. I suppose, I mean, there's so many easy ways to get Swift Sparrow 2 that it doesn't really matter. You can easily get Swift Sparrow 3 and Air Orders at the same time off of her. Right now, I think Swift Sparrow... Well, I mean, you already have to go past Leywin to get started on that. So, well, Swift Sparrow is pretty easy to get. In my opinion, Holy War is okay, but Leywin makes it up for it so hard that it's worthwhile to go down this list just to get Leywin. In which case, 4,000 toilet paper is needed. And you know what? I think it's worthwhile to go after Lei Wen for 4,000 toilet paper. Down the line, maybe you want Swiss Sparrow 3, but I mean, there are some other skills that could replace it. But yeah, we definitely aim for Lei Wen. Lei Wen is a good one. It doesn't have as much like crazy general uses like the other like Awakening Fates, but oh god, it's Social Spiral's just so good. Just so goddamn good. Everyone else though are kind of average, with the exception of Lei Wen and Ishtar. But yeah, he carried it just like how he carried everybody in the Hall of Forms back in the day. Well, back in the day, more like a week ago. So yeah, Lei Wen carries as usual. And we have Mystery and Shadows. Oh, hey, look at that. If I fight, I give you visible stats of Dev Res +2. Ooh, yeah, this one has no useful fodder whatsoever. A complete waste. Celica, well, I got Distant Dev, I guess. I mean, that's kind of nice. You can use it to to create Magic Ike if you want. I mean, that's how my old build was. You use that and a distant counter weapon and create Magic Ike, and then you can use your Distant Dev Seal for more distant defenses. Haha! It's an old setup, but it's still decent. Jenny, though, we had that discussion already. Dev Res is nice. Now, the problem with Jenny is that, well, she rides a horse. Well, it's not important, though. I mean, you can give that to... well, I suppose there's there's flying healers, and then there's horse healers, and then there's infantry healers that can benefit from this. Tulsi Skewer is a nice weapon for if you want to stack your defenses nicely. Works really hard on this aforementioned cavalry and flying units. Then you can stack that and ward flyers and other shit like that, or ward cavalry. And to go up to 7 dev, 7 res. Pretty scary stuff. I would not underestimate Toasty Skewer. I mean, you can't do the same shit as 6 Paths of Pain Plus, but you know what? Healers as a support, ooh, that's their actual job. Then you have Dev Opening. Dev Opening is kind of... So I think if you're going to do it, you should probably have a healer to snatch up that Toasty Skewer and that Wrathful Staff to commit war crimes. War crimes that prevents people from counterattacking. That kind of war crimes. You know, healers really need to have more refines than Wrathful and Dazzling. They really need to have more than that. Still, I mean, the ones that they do have is absolutely positively amazing. It's just that I wish that there's more crazy options for healers. Healers just feel so simplistic, even though they're like my favorite units of all. So I hope that we have more tricks down the line, maybe even more pref weapons for refinery. Say, eventually we get a Resplendent Sakura or something like that. She has a staff that allows her to, I don't know, give people brain damage. That would be kind of nice. Paula, hey Paula, what do we get? Holding Flyers. Hey, we've always wanted Holding Flyers, but nowadays it doesn't really matter. So you're getting her for Disarm Trap, and you're getting her for that Pegasus Carrot. How wonderful! It's just the same exact deal, except now you target Armored. And targeting Armored probably is the best out of the options that we've seen before. Targeting Dragon is nice, but, you know, there's enough dragons that are also armored that it's far more worthwhile to get this one over the other daggers of the same class. And of course... You know, this is strictly for daggers. This is a dagger setup for Disarm Trap, because Disarm Trap, hey, you only get, like, what is it for? Let me see. Disarm Trap 2. If unit ends in a bolt trap or heavy trap, or that trap is less than or equal to 3, that's not so good then. You probably want to get Disarm Trap maxed out. That's unfortunate. Then you have to choose between Pegasus Carrot Plus and Disarm Trap. It's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Paula is an unfortunate choice. You have to make a choice on top of a choice. And I suppose, finally, we have Cliff, who has been featured before. Fortress Dev Res is really nice. I like using that on crazy tanky healers and such like that. But, well, that's pretty much all there is to it. Crazy and tanky. I think it might be better to just summon for him on like a banner or something like that, because going down the list, I honestly don't know if I would get Paula, because Paula's completely for daggers. I don't really use daggers at this time anyway, until, say, Poison Dagger were to get an upgrade to Poison Dagger Plus. Then maybe we have a discussion for using daggers, because currently infantry is just roaming around free with no weaknesses whatsoever. If we have something like that to knock them down a peck, then I'll have some use for Disarm Trap, and it would make my choice a lot easier than picking between Pegasus Carrot and Disarm Trap. But currently, daggers, I really don't have much use for them. There's just not enough good daggers for me to even consider it. Yeah, there's a couple now, but there's just not that good. I think that if I were to go down the list, I'll probably just go up to Toasty Skewer and call it a day. But even then, it's a specialized thing, so most of Mystery and Shadows are about specialized units and specialized builds. Ragnarok, Distant Dev is for a specialized build. Fortress Dev Res for specialized build. You wouldn't put on an attacker, that's for sure. So yeah, Mystery and Shadows is only if you need them, on an only if you need them basis, and even then it's kind of on a low priority, 6,000. Unlike, hey, say fucking Leywin, god damn it, Leywin. Then finally we have heroes. We have a giant ass spoon. Giant ass spoon could cause some destruction. I like that actually. Dev Smoke, my friend. Now that is actually really scary on non-daggers. I suppose earlier I was just talking about how I don't use daggers. I do use Kranya, but you know, now you have Dev Smoke, you know, so it won't work for Kranya, but it would work for other Vantage users. Say, for example, our pal Ares. Ares definitely could benefit a lot from Dev Smoke. After he does his thing, he lowers everyone's defense by 7. So afterwards, whoever gets to fight him gets to experience the pain of taking 7 extra damage. So that is something worth looking into. This is a good tier 1. In fact, I think might even be the best tier 1, honestly. Then we have Jaeger. Oh, well, I guess you, speed tactics. Yeah, well, we get that for free now off of, Chill speed. Yeah, also kind of something we, and Sorcery Blade is stupid. You should not get Sorcery Blade. Jaeger herself is just a joke now. I mean, like, just all these skills are jokes. I don't know if I would get them. I mean, back then, I suppose I would have summoned her to get speed tactics, but now that we have Ear providing it, it's really not that great. So here, now we have Bruno. Well, what do we get Bruno for? Attack, dev, push? Yeah, okay, I guess. Now my healers can use that. It's not a good skill. It's terrible. I think we have attack, res, push off of Brady, so yeah, I mean, we already have a 4-star option for that. You do this for Dazzling Staff. Void Staff is nice, though. Void Staff, I mean, even without a plus, I think you still get the 7 HP. So, if you really want to be a healer, healing and healing and healing and healing... Oh, actually, no, it's 5 HP. Oh, that's terrible, then. Yeah, you're really just doing it for Dazzling Staff. You're not doing it for anything else. Compared to Tulsi Skewer, though, Void Staff is a huge joke. Alright, well then we have Fjorm. Fjorm with the attack speed bond. Attack speed bond, good for healers, I suppose. The Link, I don't like Link. Honestly, I don't really like Link that much. Roost, if it was a Roost that gives guard, though, then we have something worth discussing. And what about the Kaburaya? Oh, it gives you chill speed. Using up my weapon slot for that? Yeah, forget about it. You're summoning her. You're getting her for attack speed bond, really. Yeah, attack speed link. So stupid. You already have tactics and other ways to get visible skills, visible stats. This is not worthwhile. We need ruse. If this has been ruse, then I would say spending 4,000 would have been a more reasonable affair. But as it is now, this form is garbage. Then finally, you have Levitain. Levitain, you have Mirror Impact. Sturdy Impact, in my opinion, is a little bit better. So, I guess you could use it to fight mages, but, yeah, I don't know. It's honestly not that great. I would not spend 6,000 just to prevent enemy from doing a follow-up attack. Usually when you're going to use something like this, your unit has to have the ability to double someone to death, first of all. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to double someone to death anyway, you might as well just focus on attacking someone. You're using something like this to make sure that their first counterattack does not kill you. The second counterattack shouldn't even be a thing. They should be already dead by then. Of course, you know, sometimes I guess you just want to do enough damage for someone else to take over. I guess you can make a case for that. But spending 6,000 toilet papers for that? Yeah, you can kiss my ass. And look, hey, we're another link skill. And then we have odd attack wave. Yeah, you can kiss my ass with that. And then there's this. That's also a stupid weapon. You're only summoning her for Mirror Impact. So this one is a complete waste. I wouldn't do much else beyond the first Alphonse for Death Smoke. Well, that's pretty much it for our little discussion on the compile list. If you were to hear my opinion, Awakening Phase is definitely the best table of all of them. But Holy War has Leywin who carries so fucking hard that honestly, I would go for this one first. You have so many unique builds that you can do with Special Spyro. I'm so glad that they decided to make this into 4,000 instead of 6,000. So I would probably go for this first and then go for the rest of Awakening Fates. The others, iffy as hell. I don't know if I would go for it. Even as much as I like Fort Dev Res, it's just too expensive. I might as well just summon for it. So yeah, the other ones I probably will just go for this. These have more cheap tricks, and they have these cheap tricks one after another, unlike say the others where you have to wait a couple times, and you might even have to go through some completely irrelevant things. If you don't use daggers, what use is this kind of thing? Well, that's pretty much it for my discussion on the normal list, and now we have limited time. What do we get? Well, lethal carrots. You're going for lethal carrots. Yeah, I suppose you can do green egg if you really want to do the God Billet build on a green tome unit. You can do that. You can definitely do that. It's not as strong, in fact, not even half as strong, but you can definitely do that with no follow up or something like that. You could set up yourself in a way where you could proc Miracle using a blade. You can slap yourself Heavy Blade or Flashing Blade or something like that to build up enough for Miracle. Or I suppose you could also use Vengeful Fighter if you have a green armor. I think green tome armor. Like they could probably do green egg build with that. But otherwise, it's kind of just an expensive trick. It's not really worth your time. Lethal carrots could be scary, though, especially on an infantry dagger who can easily get infantry pulse, something like that. And you also have your special Spyro fun times. So, yeah, that in itself is definitely worthwhile to look into. But otherwise, yeah, speed, stress, bond, whatever. Gold flyers, you can easily get that off of regular Pala. So, yeah, the rest of these are just 3-star, 4-star trash that you can easily get easily. Well, that's pretty much it for our little discussion for our compile combat manual settings. I hope that this may have helped you a little bit or not, or you just listen to me the rant, whatever. It's kind of entertaining anyway. So anyway, I thank you all for watching. Until next time.